Kia ora koutou, back again. This video I decided what could I do to help? What could I do to help new people who are trying to get into the game? I know it's a bit daunting. There's so much detail going on in these micro crawlers these days. Even for someone who's been into it couple of 3-4 years like myself, you stay out of the game for a couple of months, all of a sudden there's so much innovation and so many new parts, you can feel a bit, oh God, what have I missed out on? So for someone new joining the game, you see it in the comments, in the lives, you see it in the chat rooms, the comment sections on videos. People constantly asking, what's the best tyre? What's the best shock? What's the best chassis? What's the best this, that, and the other? And they get the same generic answer, and you can't blame the person giving the answer. It is always going to be, what are you building? What are you going for? To a new person, that is speaking another language. They have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And I get it. I was that guy too at one stage. Like, what am I going for? I want a cool truck. I want it to look that good and perform that good. And I want it to have that paint job. And I want it to have the biggest of everything. And why can't I? Well, there's rules. So I'm going to try and fix up a few things in the back of my mind. And I've seen it a few times. Is the guy goes out, gets himself a nice class 1 rig, throws compliant. Everything, for all he knows, it could be a stock rig. Maybe he's got a stock C10, let's say, for example. And then he goes and asks them, what's the best tyres? They say, ruptures. 63, they're the best. He goes and chucks them on his stock C10. All of a sudden, he's in class 3. He losing, y'all. He losing, or even worse. He goes and buys the best tyres that you recommend, puts them on his rig, doesn't fit. And he ends up chewing up his whole fenders. Ends up having to scrap your money. It's okay if you're 45 like myself and you don't have any kids, you can just spend whatever. That's fine. But what if you're not? I don't like steering people in the wrong direction. So what I'd like to share is the six different classes that I throw my builds into. We're only focusing on the first 3. I reserve class 4, 5, and 6 for things running 1.8s, not 1.0s. And for things running no body. So that's a comp frame in my book. This is a chassis rail and body. Chassis rail, body, all chassis rails and bodies, all of these. Talking about Dementors, talking about Echoes, talking about Mofo Mini Wilds. Those are your class 4, 5, and 6. I'll go on about that another day. Class 1, 2, and 3. Well, class 1s, I like to think of it as 80% scale, or 80% the look. Does it fit right? Does it look right? Does it look somewhat realistic? Does it move realistically? How much accessories has it got going on at the back? We got any dead space that we could fill up? What does it need to look? Does it have a character? Does it have a personality? What's the deal with this rig? The paint, the patina. Go check out Mini Mayhem if you want things to look really realistic and look good. The weathering process, it can add a great effect to your rig. But class 1, a few fundamentals. It's going to have a flat skid. It's going to have tyre limitations, I think to 57 in most cases. You're going to want a chassis that overhangs your axles. It's quite crucial in a class 1 setup. Now this one, class 1 chassis, but you can see the hoop design at the front as well at the back. That's designed to put the chassis over the axles. It's a compliance thing. In your real 1-to-1 scale rigs, everything overhangs the axle. The chassis is always going to be long enough in a 1-1 rig. It has to be. It's got to hold bumpers. It's got to hold the whole front, the rear of the car, the whole lot. So that's replicated in your class 1 rig. So you can see the chassis overhangs the axles. Right. Cool bananas. This one was achieved. I like to also in my class 1s, I don't like to use custom link lengths. I like to use factory link lengths. You're going to hear that a lot. That's going to be the C10s, Gladiators, deadbolts. I don't mind using combinations. Maybe we got like in this one a deadbolt rear with a dead C10 front, so that's the C-bolt. This one here, the dead wagon, power wagon rears with deadbolt fronts. So things get a bit tricky. Now these 2 rigs weigh about the same. They've got about the same forward weight bias. They're same wheel length, wheelbase, same tyre size. They're pretty much an identical build, but there's a major difference. I don't like building the same rig over and over again. It's a waste of time for me. This one was a C-bolt link length. And you see where the skid is in relation to how far forward it is. And look at this one. Way further forward. Way shorter at the front. Achieved by using a Mofo UAF V2 chassis. All the Mofo UAFs will give you this. But a UAF chassis is definitely not a class 1 chassis. You see that short front on it? very short, stubby front. Long rear, take a Gladiator set of rears and still overhang the axle. See that? The chassis is still overhanging the axle at the back. It's got chassis extensions on it, but the actual chassis itself stops where my finger and thumb are. It overhangs the axle. At the front, it shouldn't, but it does. So I used the shorty fronts, pulled that front right in. It meant that I got longer rears and shorter fronts on that one than I do on this one, which meant that the chassis both overhang the front and the rear. Lovely jubbly, both compliant, but that's what people mean. It depends on your setup. You see, if you were running this and you said to me, class 1, I'm going to tell you start again. But then if you tell me I'm going to customize the link length, I can catch on to where you're going. I'm going to tell you need deadbolt drive shaft. You're probably going to want a rear facing motor unless you're a tricky bastard like myself and you can jam some crap in there. Look how close things get. Look at this. There ain't no wriggle room in there, man. But after a while, you just kind of get familiar with things and what will work and what won't work. Look at the perishing going on while I'm at it. Look at that one. You can see just above the ring where the tyre meets the wheel. That's just dry rot, man, sitting on a shelf for a year and a half, I think. So look at that. You can see the insert through it. It's so cracked up. Look at this. Well, I can get used to that with 30, 40, 50 rigs. Class 2. Class 2 is a 50-50 affair. Okay? Things get a bit funky. You can still carry over all this Class 1 accessories, but you're still allowed to go a bit crazy with your styling like the Class 3s. So it's just a real hodgepodge mix. You can go with something that looks more Class 1, like this cheat code here, which is actually Class 2, but I went for a low center of gravity. Didn't work out as much as it did with this one. Now, Class 2, you're allowed a little bit of skid length. You're still not allowed to have the dual motor, four-wheel steer, dual servo. You're still not allowed to have a carrier bearing. Those three things can send your rig to the moon. This one doesn't have any of that. She's very basic bitch. The idea behind it, so it helps to get a theme, not just for the character of the truck and the appeal of the truck, but a theme for its build. So this one here was LCG, which is why I went way undersized with the tires, way with the width, and just chop the hell out of the body and keep it sacked as possible. And the reason was I just wanted a hard body that on small tires could stand up on its side. That's hard to do. It's not easy. It's a 55mm tire with a hard body and a full-length chassis. Choice. You can see that there, Class 2, look how much clearance I got under here. No carrier bearing, just using big, what were they? Those were K-Tech, the Super 11 axles. I don't think you guys have got them yet. There's a few companies, Globact, Hot Team, and K-Tech will be releasing them soon. But yeah, that's Class 2. You've got a lot more freedom, but there's parts you can't put in these Class 2 rigs. The parts you can't put in them exist in these rigs. Feel free to go ham. If scale is just not your buzz, you just want that cool looking cartoon rig that has a personality all of its own, you're totally not into scale. I mean, who has cassette wheels? That's totally not realistic. But to suit the build, absolutely, man. That's rad. So suss out what sort of rig you're building. Are you more concentrated on performance? You know, do you want carrier bearings and dual motors and dual everything and massive double bend rear links, sliders everywhere, full-blown brass front? If you want that sort of rig, let us know. Say, hey, I'm going full-blown performance. What sort of tires should I get? I'm going 63mm plus. That's my answer. That's what I'm going to say. Anything from the good boys at 63mm plus. So if you go and scale, I'm going to hit you with Proline trenches. Now someone will throw that comment for what's the best tire. They'll throw that out there all day. But what if you're building a Class 3 rig? You want that 57mm Proline trencher on your rig that's 160, 170mm long? You're going to get hung up. I don't care what kind of carrier bearing you're setting, you're using those trenches on your 170mm rig. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. You're going to want to go see Tomsky and get them to make you some cut and shuts with those. If you tell us what you're looking for, if you get involved, just have a bit more of a browse around and have a look at what kind of builds and what kind of classes they fit into. It's going to help. It's going to help. The other thing I thought I could do with help is instead of just ripping into my packages at work, I might, and then throwing the parts on the rigs as I get them, like I do, I might do some unboxings to open some shit in front of you guys. I think I have done some of those videos, but What might help is why I bought it and where it's going. Things like this. The size of this pinion. She's mod 5, that means it's got quite a coarse cut on the gears. She's 10 tooth, but it comes with the grub. The only reason I bought it, I had a spare $5, and it's always good to keep different pinion sizes, and I didn't have a 10 tooth in mod 5, so that's just going to go in my I have one if I need one box. But in my FJ40, my work truck, which is actually not part of the 1, 2, 3 classes, that's my trail truck, which is 0 performance. But I did find this. Get this on, I found it on Amazon, Wish, AliExpress. It cost literally less than $5 including shipping. It's steel. It opens. Look at this. I'm not even joking you, y'all. The pliers actually work. Not even joking. Hammer, crescent. It's got your little Phillips in there, your tin snippers, and they're steel. Coolest little toolkit, man. Go grab one. I've had a few toolkits. Nothing that looks this cool, though. Nothing that looks this cool. Look at it. Get your tools in the back of your rig, man. But that's the sort of stuff you're going to chuck on a trail truck. I mean, if you chuck this thing weighs more than any of these wheels. It's full steel pieces. You chuck that on the back of your rig, competition over. You're not really going to be competing against anyone. What else did I pick up? I needed a red motor. Theme. My themes don't just stop at the body. It goes beyond that. It goes into the to the rig itself. With so many options on the market, why would you just stick to like black on black or whatever? As you can tell, TRD coloured rig, Toyota all day, yellow, orange, red, transmission, orange, motor mount, yellow, motor, red, and I don't have this one. Bolt pattern fits. Yep, primo. She's a RAS motor, got a nice smooth surface on it. I don't think it's very torquey because it doesn't have much resistance. She rolls over quite sweet. But yeah, I'm interested to give that a go. And this rig sat around motorless for quite some time. Yeah, I've got all the time in the world. I'm not going to rush anything. That's going to look so good. Oh yeah, that is going to look good. Red motor sitting there. Oh yeah, primo. But piecing things together is something that I really do enjoy doing. And if people jump into live chats or ask questions in videos, I have no problem pointing them in the right direction. But as you can see here, there are so many directions. It's very easy to steer someone the wrong way, and that's something I don't want to do. Here's something else you might want to look out for on your travels when you're going through all the cheapy shops. Just look out for sticker packs like this that are just basically just a big sticker sheet, and you cut whatever you want out or whatever. Pick these up, and these are going on the Red Bull. So I've seen a lot of people, you'll buy a buggy and it comes with some panels. Just trace the outline of the panel. You can do it quite rugged. You don't have to do the perfect outline of whatever the sticker is. Now you can actually cut across it, put the, you know what I mean? So you're actually cutting into the whole thing. So the shape of the panel is the shape that you cut out. I don't actually care if the R gets slightly cut off or the L gets slightly cut off. Go and have a look at your performance vehicles. You'll see that's the trend with them when they wrap the cars and they sticker bomb them and whatnot. There's always a lot of hangovers and nothing's perfect. Just make sure when you order 2 sheets that they send you the right sheets for left and right side. I didn't check. Bummer. Anyway, here's the real surprise. This one is, a Power Wagon body. What I was doing was looking for 24 Yep's black Power Wagon body that he has on his coupe chassis. You'll see it with the big Punch Monkey wheels, the 1-spoke 1.8 Punch Monkey wheels. Very capable rig, but he's got this tiny little Power Wagon body, and I've been looking for it. I don't think this is it, but I found this, and I've never seen it before. You can see all the holes in it. That's for the amount of accessories it comes with. Didn't come with masking for the windows, but I'm not too bothered. It is 1/18 scale. Again, I'm going to use it for a comp body. I don't care. But this was hard to find, and it popped up in a weird spot in a weird way. So what you're going to look for is, it is on Amazon. It is on AliExpress. I've seen a few listings on eBay, and they're all under hard body. whoever from China is listing this, they're listing it under hard body, which isn't exactly a lie. They're actually advertising about 4 or 5 different bodies. The first, well, everything except the last one is a hard body, as it says in the listing name. But this one is the last option, and the last color option for this is clear. And this is what showed up. So, happy days. There is another option out there, and this could be one of the best ones. Bumpers, roll cage, lights, huge lights. Those are so cool. Huge lights that just sit up on the fenders. We've got lenses, bezels, primo. That's already a lot more accessories than you'd expect, but it keeps going. Keeps going, man. Body latches, tie downs, more bezels for the rear lights, window wipers, door handles, front grille, side mirrors. Yeah, door handles. Look at that door handle. Yeah. So that's just going to punch in here and here in these 2 holes. And a nice big door handle. We've got holes for mirrors. We've got holes for wipers. We've got holes at the front for the grille. Dang. It's a pity I'm going to cut the crap out of that. But anyway, I've got some spare accessories. So that has got to be one of the best value for money power wagons on the market. Look for the hard body listing. And it's got a whole lot of bodies that look like a Bronco, a Jeep, just the classic Axial or Traxxas or whatever bodies. And they've all got paint jobs. Cool paint jobs. Nothing too fancy, just straight colours, full of accessories as you'd expect with hard bodies. But the last body is a power wagon. It's also painted. But if you select the power wagon, then you ask for, well, then you get to select what colour you want, and one of the colours is clear. If you select clear, this is what you get with all of these. So that's me for today. From now, I'm going to open my stuff on camera and show what I'm going to do, what I intend to do with that product, what my thought was behind buying it, where it's going, and why. And the whole point of it is to try and help people and give them some direction so that they're not ending up with a pile of parts, getting confused because they don't fit, or they got kicked out of their comp, or they whatever, or the parts just don't fit, they don't work together. They throw it all in the bin, give up, and go back to high speeding or working on their Tamiya's or something. I like this game, I want it to thrive, and it just seems like as it grows, it gets better. So I'm very keen to see the next stage of growth, the next stage of products. It's always amazing. Speaking of that, Hardpark has just released those 1.3 wheels with the inner weight hangers. If you haven't checked them out, I suggest you do. I'm about to head down the bank right now, chuck some money on the cred. Boom, I'm going to get me some. Catch you next time. Happy crawling.